In light of recent world events and the fact it is Suicide Awareness Month, Glaziar Gaming would like to say if you are dealing with abuse in any form or feel like harming yourself or others, please seek help. We've had a handful of friends from our graduating class take their lives or lose their battle with abuse. It's a heavy situation for everyone involved, so if you have a loved one that is going through a tough time, do what you can to help them. Or if you yourself feel like you are not good enough, you are. Just know that we here at Glaziar Gaming care about you.
That we do, very much so. Yeah, just the littlest, the how are you doing today is what I would recommend to people. Just if you know somebody that might be like you've always been worried about them, but a lot of the time it's also people that you have no idea. So just, how are you doing today can be the difference between making somebody's day and their day being as terrible, because it's a mental thing. Their life might not seem terrible, but it's terrible in their head. So that how are you doing today? That random nod to a stranger rather than ignoring them while you walk by them on the phone. Smile, not flipping somebody off because they made you mad on the road, just politely passing them and letting it wash off you. Yeah. Just the little bits of a difference make negative impacts and positive impacts. Just try to be a positive one. Not just this month, not just during Awareness Month, all the time. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel when you act in a positive sense. Now let's get into it. We're going to get into the podcast itself. This is episode 14, so welcome. I'm glad you are here. Joe's not. He said he hates you. Just wanted to point. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. This is the section of the podcast where we like to talk about all things entertainment, heavily focused on Marvel almost all the time. But we got a lot of stuff we wanted to talk about. The newest episode of What If came out. We also have some other news. There was a lot of little random news with Marvel today, it's nice. It's nice for people like us that want to talk about it, but it's like a lot of little stuff that doesn't have like a lot of in-depth conversation. Like it's not like the Angelina Jolie with Laura Ridloff, where you can talk about Lauren Ridloff, where you can talk about like the creation of movies and like on-set magic.
Angelina's past and Lauren Ridloff's past.
Right. It's more just like, okay, this happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we'll start off. So there was She-Hulk. She-Hulk's in production right now.
Sure. Starring Tatiana Maslany, Mark Ruffalo, Tim Roth. I'm sure William Hurt will be in there.
Jamila Jamil,
yeah, as Titania too.
I know a lot of people don't like Jamila Jamil, but I think she's awesome.
Yeah,
like I get it. I get a lot of people don't like her, but she's good. She's good at playing the parts that she's given.
She's playing a villain, so
she's playing a villain. She might fit a villain well because a lot of people already dislike her. I'll keep watching because she's good, and as my wife says, she's gorgeous. So She-Hulk. They gave a gift to their crew members, and one of the writers posted a picture of the crew members. Originally, She-Hulk was rumored to only be one of the one-season shows.
A lot of them were actually originally just supposed to be one season. Like they were supposed to be one and dones.
When they released like that huge, like here's slate 30 project we're working on.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige was asked about the Disney Plus projects, and he said there are maybe a couple of shows we would consider doing 2 seasons. Probably not realizing how big these shows would be, but he only said a couple would be. And
that might have been prior to Kevin Feige working all the magic in his head and realizing what each one is going to be doing.
I think it was before he saw, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Yeah. And then Loki just making sense. Well, I mean, like, if you can think about it, WandaVision season 2 is in Doctor Strange. Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 2 is in Captain America 4. Loki season 2 is in.
They were only planning to do that. They weren't planning to bring it back, but then they were so successful on Disney Plus. They were like, why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
So now that show was one of the ones that was supposed to be one season. One of the writers posted a picture, subtitled the picture, which was like clothing and other just normal merch swag.
Sure.
Season 1. Said like thanks to everybody involved and all that, and then went season 1.
I know they've talked about doing a Hulk movie, whether it's World War Hulk or Planet Hulk or whatever. So
I want Planet Hulk. For those of you, I want
She-Hulk story could lean into that, where maybe She-Hulk has to fight Hulk. Maybe Wolverine comes in and kills all of Hulk's kids, and then gets eaten by Hulk, and then rips them apart from the inside. What?
Like the comic books. I want Planet Hulk. That's my big one for sure. That's like
I'd love to see them do like with all the time stuff coming in, like a Maestro too. And
Planet Hulk has a lot of connectivity to a symbiote planet that they could do. You know, if you want to tie in Sony with Marvel, you could mention that there's a symbiote planet. That's me.
Is there a symbiote planet?
Oh, well, I mean, where did Riot come from that they were talking about?
Where did Riot come from? Where did Venom come from? Where did All Black the Necro Sword that Gore the God Butcher is going to have come from? Who killed the Celestial Nowhere? Who?
Symbiotes are huge, man, and I want Hulk Planet. I want Planet Hulk. I want Symbiote Planet. I want them all. Another thing that happened. So Frank Grillo, who was in the What If episode, was also in
Crossbones.
He was Crossbones. Yeah. And he, unlike a lot of these celebrities that are being asked, like, hey, are you going to be in future Marvel products? He's like, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think he said that his character, with all the stuff they're doing, like, so he's obviously paying attention. With all the stuff they're doing, Crossbones could come back in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's
he said, I think Crossbones will be here and there in and out of projects that are to come.
Yeah,
like he basically said, yep, I'll be in them. He'll probably be in it as Grillo, or he'll probably be in it as his like non-Crossbones character as well.
Yeah, like a past version of himself, because he went boom. So
right, exactly. Anyway, just thought that was really interesting.
I like seeing him in the What If episode.
So the 10 powers, the Eternals, we mentioned them last week. We're going to talk about them again because I need to hype myself up. I'm sorry, just being 100%. I need to hype myself up for this movie because they all seem too OP, and I need to create reasons to me want to go, because it's hard. I'm having a hard time wanting to go. So I need these Angelina Jolie stories. I need to talk about it to make sure, like, gotta hype myself up. The 10 a description of the 10 powers of the 10 of the main cast members' powers has been released.
Okay.
First, we go with Icarus.
Richard
Madden's Icarus. In the official synopsis, he is all powerful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he's the main dude. Like, there's not really a flaw with him.
He has one ability, which is channeling energy that makes him adept with all powers. So he is better than average, but not the best in every area you can think of, is what he's described as. Better than average, but not the best in anything you can think of.
I mean, just look at him.
Yeah, he's very attractive. He was the second strongest Eternal on Earth, and he demonstrates this power in the trailer with his eye blasts.
Yeah.
He's also the only Eternal that's been proven in the film that can fly, and Icarus apparently is so powerful he doesn't have full control of the eye beams.
Good.
He also possesses super strength. Yeah, and Madden himself confirmed that Icarus is all powerful, which Richard Madden said the hardest part about playing Icarus was trying to make somebody all powerful seem seamless. Cersei,
main character.
She can manipulate. I think that's Salma Hayek, right?
Yep, Salma Hayek. Yeah. No. It's Gemma Chan.
Gemma Chan. She can manipulate matter on a grand scale, so to the point where she outshines all Eternals in this category. She can take the molecules in an object and reshape them into whatever she pleases. She tends to have the most fun with her powers, but has the most potential for destruction. She is potential to become a similar threat in the mold of a Jean Grey, but primarily she uses her powers to irrigate barren soil to give them water, overturning a bus and turning it into harmless rose petals in the trailer. She turns bus. So basically similar to the Reality Stone, where Thanos chooses bubbles. She can turn anything into whatever she wants.
Yeah. Sure. She's very pro people.
However, unlike the comics, this version of Cersei can only transmute non-living matter, which Gemma Chan said that she likes this fact and she thinks it's a good thing and a good change. So
yeah, no, she's the main character. So
Kingo, which is Kumail Nanjiani, who got ripped for this.
Yeah, he got torqued.
He has very limited appearances in the comics. So there is no limit to his power that we know of, because this is more time. He's spending more time on screen than he spent in the comics. His biggest skill that stands out of the other Eternals is his skill with swords. They're reimagining the character as a Bollywood star.
Yep, Bollywood star. I saw that.
We do not know if the film version will include his swordsmanship, which is what set him apart in the comics. But we do know he uses his energies.
Yeah, he goes.
Use projectiles. Yep, he fires them out of his fingers, which took down the Deviant instantly. However, Nanjiani did say that he took martial arts lessons.
Like it's some hand-to-hand combat in there.
And he said that he took the martial arts lessons to realize how a body would be used as a weapon. So like how to use finger blasts, like how would somebody with martial arts use it. So that's why he said he took them.
Sure.
Cool, so taking the role very seriously. Gilgamesh.
This is the first
Donley. It's the only person stronger than Icarus. It's the only Eternal.
The inventor, the creator guy?
Licorice?
Or no, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
He's the only Earth-based one that is stronger. But played by Don Lee. In the comics, he is near the top of all Marvel universe when it comes to strength. He is in the comic books, he is considered on the same level as Thor and Hercules. Combined with this and his natural talents as an Eternal makes Gilgamesh a contender for the MCU's current most strongest character, Scarlet Witch. Well, let's stop with this argument. It's Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
He also has apparently strong skills in the kitchen. He's the one I think they break his table. What, I'm guessing this table.
That's Brian Tyree Henry's character.
In the trailer, he's using his cosmic energy to enhance physical hand-to-hand strikes. Don Lee trained in boxing for this Eternals role. In the comics, he has a signature one-punch knockout move, which they said will be used in the film.
Nice.
So he's the strongest one, but he's mainly just physical, less energy.
Strength-wise, yeah.
Fastos.
Yeah, Brian Tyree Henry's.
He's
the first openly gay character in the MCU.
Maybe he and Iceman can have a scene together. I'm so excited for Iceman. Anyway, so he can create technology and weapons that he can produce with his mind and energy powers. He will be considered in the film an inventor, just like in the comic books, with Sprite half watching on. So Sprite is the young girl.
Yep.
She'll be the one watching him. Fastos is seen utilizing his powers in the first trailer. He has a limited capacity as an inventor, and in the second trailer, he's the one who summons the group's entire ship from its parking spot. We don't know how he will be in battles, however, but it seems he can assemble anything from the technology around him.
Sure.
So on Earth, that'll be handy. Can't wait till he turns a couple sponsors into something sick, like, oh, let me take this pile of iPhones and turn I'm just waiting for there's a good chance to work with technology. Let's throw in some sponsors here. Thena, Angelina Jolie.
The cousin of Thanos.
She's the cousin of Thanos, fierce warrior, daughter of Zura, the one-time leader of the Eternals in the comics. She has spent centuries simply training her powers. She can also create and wield various forms of weaponry.
Yeah, she can make weapons with her powers. She's most known
for a golden spear and a crossbow that fires energy. Yep, in the trailer she fashions a sword already. And her go-to weapon appears to be a spear, similar to the
Yeah, it's like a
comics.
spear and shield that she like puts the spear over
Very
the
Spartan-like.
Spartan-esque, yeah.
And she uses this against Gilgamesh and a deviant in the second Eternals trailer. Not Galactus. Sprite, which is played by Leah McHugh, one of 3 male characters from the comics to be gender swapped for the film. The other 2 being Makkari and Ajax. Sprite, despite her immortality, has the physical appearance of a child. In the comics, Sprite's powers are average except manipulation. Not as good as Cersei, though. And they often use this skill. She is very similar to Loki as a trickster.
Yeah, she's got the mind manipulation. So I think
her powers revolve around illusion.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, I won't, like, spoiler warning, I won't do anything, but, like, in the comics, she uses that manipulation, and I'm sure that's going to happen here. Like,
in the
with
trailer,
the
she makes
Eternals.
fireworks, but we don't know how she'll be used fully.
Yeah.
Makkari, which is Lauren Ridloff, we mentioned last week. She's apparently going to be super fast. Makkari spends most of his time channeling cosmic energy to improve his speed. I feel like they shouldn't be saying his, or are they still?
Yeah.
So it's played by Lauren Ridloff, but are they still calling?
It's a female.
Okay.
She's a female. Yeah.
It says his for some reason. Anyway, super fast. It wants to be the fastest person in the universe, and in the past has even outrun Quicksilver. However, this ambition will likely go unrealized in the MCU. This version of Makkari demonstrates their powers a lot more than others, as well as speed reading, gathering collections of trinkets to make even Quicksilver jealous, save somebody from a collapsing structure. While Makkari is running, golden energy can be seen enveloping her body. So we'll see how she utilizes speed as a weapon. Druig's powers are just simply comparable to his fellow Eternals. One power he seems to possess the most is telepathy. He used to torture.
Yeah, he looks like he almost has, in the Eternals, they go to, like, when they're like, we have to find everyone. It looks like he's like running a cult in the woods.
Which in the comics, he tortures KGB and manipulates people's thoughts by reading their minds.
Sure.
He looks like Ezra Miller to me a lot.
He does look like Ezra Miller.
However, the Eternals view him as a potential danger because of his mind control.
Yeah.
Yeah, he often forces people to do his bidding.
Yeah.
So this is subtly hinted at in the trailer, showing a cult-like group that he is leading in a retreat. So he's the wild card.
Yep.
Ajax has all the powers
Selma
of
Hayek,
the
yeah.
average Eternal in the comics, but can do one thing that the others can't: communicate with creators and Celestials. This makes Ajax essential to the group, since the Celestials visit Earth periodically to pass judgment. This may have something to do with why Salma Hayek is selected to be the leader of the team. In the second trailer, Ajax is leading the Eternals, gathering around a Celestial statue, which might depict them communicating. Might be Ajax using her powers to communicate.
Sure. I almost feel like she's the mother of the group.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Also has the power of manipulation, but has an unknown purpose, because in the trailer she's shown to collect plants. She's also considered a master healer.
Okay.
So that would also make
with
sense
the plants.
too. Yeah, herbal healer too. Dane Whitman, aka
Kit Harington,
aka Black Knight, is not a member of the Eternals, but is an integral part of the film. It has a relationship with Cersei, likely helping them out in one capacity or another. He is entirely human. He has genius-level intellects in the fields of physics and genetics. He takes ownership of the Ebony Blade, however, in which this inherits the title of Black Knight. In this persona, he is gifted magical senses, as well as enhanced strength, speed, and more to go with swordsmanship. In this way, in the comics, that's when he becomes an Avenger. However, it is unclear in the Eternals trailer whether or not he is already considered the Black Knight, or will merely offer his scientific assistance.
I think they have shown very little of him.
The biggest rumor is that he will simply be in a post-credit scene.
I mean, he's in the trailer.
He should be in the movie.
He's talking to Cersei, and he's like, "Why didn't you help?" And then she's like, "We were only supposed to help with deviants." And he's like,
"Is a deviant."
Yeah, he's like, "Who told you that?" And then that made Cersei think like, "Why didn't we help?" Like,
it's the Celestials. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I wanted to go over that. I know that went longer than expected, but yeah, that brought out, and I think that's some information for people that don't necessarily know. Like, I thought they were all just going to be OP and all powerful, similar but they are not. So there you go. Speaking of movies coming out, Venom is coming out on October 1st.
I believe we have tickets too.
We do have tickets to me, you, and Mike. And we'll be going at 7:45. On the day of release,
October 1st.
I've seen a couple of reviews. I pulled 2 reviews. So the biggest similarity that I've seen out of all the reviews that I've read is that it feels like a buddy cop movie. They're trying to be too funny. Venom is not supposed to be a hilarious character and funny character. Jokes here, jokes there. There's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of humor. And I saw one person say that they would rate the movie an 8 out of 10 because they love the direction. It makes Venom feel less like a villain, more like an anti-hero, and makes more sense to make him a consistent character in the MCU, or if they want to move him to the MCU, or work with Spider-Man. And then I saw one person give it a 5 out of 10 because the humor ruins the movie. So
here's how I see it. It's even if you pair it with Deadpool, or even if you pair it with even Joker, right? Like, it's such a dark possibility. Like, it's a very dark scenes, like murder, biting off people's heads, stuff like that. So you have to balance that with humor. And like, even the Joker was very serious and very like gripping to an extent, but it also had funny moments which made you laugh, and then all of a sudden there'd be a super serious moment. Deadpool's the same way. Deadpool has a lot of like dark qualities to it, with murder, cutting people up, swearing, crude humor, stuff like that, but they balance it with the funny stuff. So
right, like being held on the point of suffocation and living.
Yeah, and like Venom is a buddy cop thing. If you think about it, when you're seeing Venom in the comics, you're only seeing the dialogue in that one moment when something's happening, not all the time. You're not like Eddie Brock and Venom talking all the time throughout an hour and a half segment. You're just seeing Venom jumping in through a window, fighting Spider-Man, and being like, "Screw you, Peter Parker," like, and that's all you see. Like, that's all Venom dialogue. But before that whole moment, Venom and Eddie Brock have been communicating this whole time. So
right. Another thing I saw was they wrestled with the idea of making it rated R all the way up to the last moment.
Yeah.
We were this close. We mentioned it before. I would love if they did like a Deadpool thing, where Once Upon a Deadpool, where they released an R-rated version and then a PG-13 version.
Yeah.
I think that'd be smart. Next here we have Victoria Alonso. She was promoted to the president of physical and post-production, visual effect, and animation production at Marvel. Previously, she was the assistant or the president of just like post-production. So pretty big
for her
thing, but yeah,
moving up in Disney/Marvel is.
And I saw all positive reactions from actors in the MCU, other people that work in the MCU, people that worked under her. So sounds like a huge win for Marvel. Another popular female in Marvel, Sophia Martino, who played Sylvie, states she would love to have a duo scene with Wanda.
You mean like a fight or just like an interaction?
Just a scene with both of them on screen. She made it seem like she would love like a consistent part of where those two are in it together. I didn't think that makes sense.
No.
I think they're way too opposite.
I saw a possible theory too. I'll have to bring that up after.
Speaking of WandaVision, or Wanda though, Paul Bettany says he's already on board if they want to do WandaVision 2, season 2. Which would be great for him because he would be able to play White Vision and regular Vision.
White Vision, yeah. Unless Vision comes back I don't know.
Vision will come back based on Multiverse of Madness.
You need him to play White Vision though. So This is a perfect time to say that note. WandaVision. I saw this is just some stupid theory. I don't believe it. Wanda was going through the Darkhold, doing all her Darkhold magic, and then she hears her boys. But someone said it was the demon from Shang-Chi calling out to her.
That would make a lot of sense.
But
it's what she would want most.
But she was like also doing stuff with the Darkhold. So like I feel like she was doing her reality stuff, not having the
I think that theory makes sense, but that's another one of those sounds like a Marvel fan theory and not what Marvel is actually thinking. That's that thing that going over the trees when they re-edited the post. That is one of those demons.
Ooh, but they're invisible.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen a bunch of stuff for Spider-Man No Way Home where everyone's like Doctor Strange isn't Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto.
Yeah, and then Kevin Feige straight up said, "Don't be stupid. That's Doctor Strange." there's been people, we've mentioned it before. There's been people that say they have no idea what's going on. Like so Hawkeye's coming out, and Hailee Steinfeld at one point said, "I have no idea what Hawkeye is. Like, what are you talking about?" She's in Hawkeye and is going to be the lead, basically. Tatiana Maslany said, "I don't know. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, why are you asking?"
Denied it even after Mark Ruffalo
said, "Well,
tweeted
at family."
Yeah, welcome to the family, cuz something like that. So
Chloe Bennett, who plays Quake in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep. Daisy Johnson. Daisy Johnson.
Said she has no idea what Secret Invasion even is when asked about it. So you tweeted out with a yeah, she might not know. She might not be part of it, but she's the one that people want the most besides Coulson.
Yeah. I mean, and the Coulson and her relationship is one of the bright spots to that show in general.
They seem to be trying to move away from the older shows. Like, I don't have high hopes that they'll bring in the Defenders and those sorts of people. And I could see them maybe recasting Iron Fist because that was so unpopular.
Yeah.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel like they're trying to move away from it. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's not part of it. But like, it's also, everybody's been saying this is another reason why just stop asking actors. Just stop asking. Like, they're gonna tell you no. So it's just speculation. They want to throw that in there. But somebody who does want to be in it basically says he'll do anything to be part of the MCU is Vincent D'Onofrio, who played Kingpin.
Yes.
Not only we mentioned it last week, he was liking every tweet that involved him and being Kingpin, but he straight up said in an interview, "I would do anything to play that character again. I have so much more to show as that character, and that's the character I have had the most fun playing in any setting. More fun than Jurassic World, more fun than Law and Order. Like Kingpin, bring him in.
Yeah, Wilson Fisk. You want to bring in." I mean, if you can bring in Wilson Fisk, you can bring in Matt Murdock, you can bring in Jessica Jones, you can bring in Frank Castle. You can even bring in somebody that would sell a ton of stuff in Miles Morales because he already has a storyline with Kingpin. So
we need a live action Miles Morales.
I think Kingpin would be a great villain for Miles Morales too.
Well, Kingpin was in the first one.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Somebody else that said they would love to be part of Marvel, specifically X-Men. Margot Robbie.
You added a.
I added something to that
emoji.
Note I did. Yep. I added the nauseous emoji. Not a fan. Not a fan. I think she's a good actor.
I mean, who could she play? Dazzler?
I feel like I have yet to really see her in anything that I enjoy her character at all. So, maybe bring her in Mystique. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. First of all, I wouldn't know what to cast her in. Second of all, she doesn't have a draw for me. Like, she doesn't. When I hear, "Oh, Margot Robbie's in this," that doesn't perk my ears up.
Yeah.
Like, there are actors that I feel like I don't like or I'm not a big fan of, that when I hear they're in something, I'm at least like, oh, that could be like, I think Johnny Depp is a super good actor.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, but when I hear he's in a movie, I'm like, Johnny Depp's in his movie?
Yeah.
Or like even like on a lesser scale, I'm not a huge Channing Tatum fan, but when Channing Tatum's in a movie, I'm like, oh, Channing Tatum's in. But when I hear Margot Robbie's in a movie, I'm always like, okay, Margot Robbie's in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So you know what? If they want to use her, I trust their judgment. So go for it. But that doesn't excite me. That news didn't excite me. So,
okay. Not even a tingle down there.
Not even a little one. Nope. Not even a wiggle. Another little piece of news. So Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming out
eventually. Yep. After Thor: Love and Thunder.
10, 15 years from now, James Gunn says it will be the story of Gamora and Nebula. So
centered around them.
Yeah, it'll be focusing on them. So it won't be heavy on Star-Lord. It won't be heavy on Rocket. Won't be heavy on Groot or Drax. But they said somebody dies. I think it's Drax.
Based off the colors of the. You see that?
No.
The color of each Guardian of the Galaxy, like the first one, the second one, somebody dies. Like that color of that person. So look up Guardians
the first
of the
one it's
Galaxy.
green.
Yeah.
And then Groot dies, and then the second one it's
blue.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Who's blue that dies? In that Yondu. Okay.
Look it up. Or it's like wood colored, and then the second one's blue.
And then this
first
new
one's
one
wood
is green.
color. So this new one is like gray.
So it could be Rocket.
Oh, Drax, gray.
I think it's Drax because his story arc is basically completed.
Yeah.
Outside of like multiverse Drax, where we saw in like the earlier What If episode and the T'Challa episode, Drax's daughter is alive.
Yeah, I think they bring in Moon Dragon, and then he's happy.
Right, exactly. So unless they're gonna expand and bring in Moon Dragon, I think his character's over. Thanos is dead. His whole life's work is completed.
Yeah.
And Dave Bautista has not signed on for any more movies and has been very open about how he wanted more movies and they said no. So I think he's done. I think he's dead. Yeah. So I think that's it. But it'll be Gamora and Nebula. We were just talking about actors that we should just stop asking them. Charlie Cox says he no longer wants to discuss his future in the MCU because he doesn't want it to jeopardize his chances. He said, you never know who is listening. And then in that same interview says he would never want to work with anybody besides Christian Ritter or John Bernthal as their characters because he believes they played those characters to their highest potential.
Yeah.
So in the same interview, he said he doesn't want to talk about it. He said, I would only work with these people. So
yeah, he said that if Marvel's looking to cast those characters, they should cast Christian Ritter and John Bernthal because they played them so well.
I mean, like, I get it. I get that a lot. But, you know, if you don't want to bring it
those three plus Wilson Fisk.
Just saying, if you don't want to talk about your future, probably shouldn't say I wouldn't work with anybody besides these people.
Well, I don't think that's exactly how he meant it, but
right.
I'm sure he just wants to be like, stop asking me.
And there's only two left here before we get into like the what if breakdown. But you mentioned referencing What If episode 4.
Yeah, yep.
You said Supreme Strange was.
Oh yeah, okay. So what if this is the theory? So when Doctor Strange was looking through the 14 million realities, 14,605 realities
in Infinity War.
I think the theory was Tony Stark's death in what is it called? An absolute point in time. So he was trying to look through all of the realities, and in each one of these 14 million realities, Tony Stark / Iron Man died. But there was only one where they won and he died. So that makes sense because right after that, they're still fighting on Titan, and Thanos stabs Tony Stark or whatever, and Doctor Strange is like, this can't happen if we need to win. If we need to win, I have to, even regardless on if I give up the time stone or not. Like, if I give up the time stone, sure, he's going to win, but then like Tony Stark can't die. Like Tony Stark needs to
die in order to kill Thanos.
Yeah, Tony Stark needs to be alive for us to win. So if I have to give up the time stone so Tony Stark doesn't die, I have to do that because Tony Stark can't die yet.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think that just you seeing it in the What If episode where Christine Palmer died is an absolute point in time. No matter what would have happened, this could be the same thing. Iron Man, Tony Stark was going to die, and then if
in that main reality on that timeline, I think
and so if Doctor Strange would have let him know like everything that's going to happen, you're going to have to die, it wouldn't happen.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. That's a theory that I would actually put a lot into. I think that's for sure. I would say that was an absolute point.
So, Tony Stark's death. Yep.
And then the last thing before we get into What If, Marvel has announced something huge. On November 12th, they will be celebrating the MCU on Disney+.
It is not only just MCU, it's Disney Plus Day. They're going to be talking about their Pixar projects going forward, their Disney projects going forward, their Star Wars projects going forward, their Marvel products going forward, as well as releasing Shang-Chi on
Disney Plus. Yep.
On that day.
There's another thing coming out that day. There's another movie coming available on that day. I can't remember which one, but there's another one too.
It's gonna be huge. November 12th. Mark the date.
I think I'm excited for it. It's all there was a couple people that's all they could talk about that day when it was announced. I got an advertisement for it today while watching YouTube. So yeah, it's gonna be huge. Like Loki's, you know what, as a frost giant. Oh, speaking of Loki as a frost giant, let's get into it. What if episode 7? This was what if Thor was an only child. Yep. What if Thor were an only child? Basically, instead of raising Loki as his own, Odin brings Loki back to Laufey.
Yeah.
and
Never has
they
Hela.
create an alliance. They never have Hela. So it starts off with the Watcher watching over like the decision making, and I just had like a funny thought. It wasn't anything like related to the episode, but like the poor Watcher, like this, he's this being. He's not immortal or whatever. He's not a god, but he's just narrating everything he sees. That has to be just because he's lonely. He doesn't know he's talking to us, does he? That'd be a fourth wall break. That'd be a constant fourth wall break.
We don't know. We'd have to have him. We'd have to see him narrate Deadpool,
right?
After Loki lets him know that Deadpool is a comic book character.
So, I think he's just narrating to himself because he's lonely. I feel bad for the Watcher. I think he's lonely.
So sad.
So sad. So yeah, I thought about. I was just randomly like I was listening to him talk. I was like, he doesn't know he's talking to us, the viewers. It's not like he knows he's in a TV show. So yeah.
Or does he?
Or does he? Because he's watching everything. He's watching us right now. But like, yeah, he's just
one viewer.
He's just watching us. Hey, that's one more viewer than we normally get. Yeah, well, that's I just felt bad for him, So anyway, yeah, the episode that happens, and then Odin goes into Odin sleep. Frigga leaves right away because Loki's like waiting, or Thor is like waiting for Odin, like, come on, like fall asleep. Odin falls asleep. Frigga goes, okay, I'm off to my whatever, like basically gonna go hang out with her friends, and she tells Thor he needs to start studying because he's an interim king at this point. And instead Thor goes, I'm gonna go to the most trashiest, worst planet in the world where even Heimdall can't see, which is Earth. So yeah, he goes to Earth to throw a Party X or whatever. What is that? Is that what it's called? Project X. Yeah. He throws a Project X on Earth where he just throws the biggest party with all different beings from all over. The Warriors 3 are there, Scourge the Executioner's there, Howard the Duck, the Skrulls, Grandmaster, Nebula, Korg, Valkyrie, Drax, Aisha.
Those are the golden people you said.
Yeah. Rocket, Yondu, Mantis, Topaz.
Yeah.
They're all there partying in different variations, and it's genuinely just interactions, fun, humor.
Yeah, you said Yondu, right?
Yeah. Jane and Darcy are there in the desert to try to catch them, but instead they end up in Thor goes to Vegas instead. In this universe, Jane walks in. They're like, oh my god, he's gorgeous. Jane and him hook up. Darcy gets married to Howard the Duck.
Very hangover moment for her.
Right, hangover / party or Project X. Just, it really has it almost like no hang. Overall, I said this was like felt like a filler episode, like the most filler episode feeling yet. It really didn't seem to have there's a couple like what if moments, like what if this happened instead, like what if Loki was brought back. And
what if Captain Marvel could beat Thor's ass? Would beat Thor's ass?
Right. Yeah, that was a couple what ifs. Otherwise, it was just felt like a for fun, lighthearted episode because all the previous 6 episodes have been so much heavier. I think that's what they were doing. After in the morning when everybody's hungover and exhausted, Maria Hill says she's the acting director of S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of Nick Fury because Korg knocked him out. Yeah. Basically, was Brian Urlacher and hit him and just Ray Lewiston, whatever.
No, he didn't die.
No, but he's unconscious and was still unconscious. So Maria Hill was the acting director, and she grabbed Jane Foster because she wanted help with tracking Thor down and
Thor's energy or something.
They basically S.H.I.E.L.D. basically wants to eliminate Thor because he's causing destruction and disaster on Earth because they're all partying too hard because all these celestial beings probably don't sleep or sleep very little, so they're all just partying, using different things on Earth that they don't realize like humans want. Crossbones is there, Grillo is there,
Frank Grillo. Yeah.
So
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy because
Hydra doesn't exist.
So he's there working with Maria Hill. They page Captain Marvel. This is apparently a big enough emergency to call Captain Marvel, but nothing before Thanos was ever an emergency. Loki sending his entire army to destroy Earth and rule Earth wasn't big enough to call Captain Marvel, but Thor
Ultron taking over the planet.
But Thor partying. So they call Captain Marvel. At this point, Loki shows up. He's a frost giant. He is huge.
Yeah.
Huge, which we all know what else would be. It'd be like the size of Tom Hiddleston. Anyway,
Hiddleston's
on his, yeah. So he shows up. while Thor takes the picture with all the gold people, like Aisha. However, then Captain Marvel shows up to fight Thor. Thor gets punched all the way to Paris. Oh, wait, no, she gets blunt punched to Paris. Yeah, he hits her.
Yeah, then he shows up.
Yeah, so he hits her from Paris to Stonehenge. And then Thor knocks Stonehenge over because she seems so protective and he wants to be a little punk about it.
Yeah.
So he knocks Stonehenge over, which then pisses her off and they start into a fight. She starts winning, but then Thor lays his hammer on top of her and says, you need to take a time out.
Yeah.
And then walks away. And then at this time, we see Surtur, who is there partying with everybody, not being a bad person, like just hitting on the Statue of Liberty and partying with all the Frost Giants. The Frost Giants are tearing apart a Ferris wheel, and Surtur cuts off the arm of the Statue of Liberty.
He's like magma.
Yeah, so, just some random fun stuff happening there. So Jane, they decide, so S.H.I.E.L.D. decides, like, Captain Marvel, what the heck, you're supposed to be, Fury says you're the most powerful being in the universe, and Captain Marvel says she was holding back because she doesn't think Thor is worth blowing up and she doesn't want to hurt the civilization around. Casualties. So they decide, bring him to the Mojave Desert and kill him there, which I think is very extreme. He's partying. Send him home. Anyway, because
one thing I liked is the callback to when people told Brie Larson she needs to smile more.
Yeah,
and then she
Thor
put all
the smile more.
Yeah, she put all the smiles on like Iron Man and Cap and Doctor Strange. So I thought that was a funny callback that he's like, you need to relax and smile more. And then she's just like,
right, she doesn't smile.
Yeah.
But anyway, she does. So Jane calls Frigga because they're going to follow through with this plan. Frigga decides to show up. And because Thor is on the he has like this call with Frigga, and Captain Marvel, when she was going to kill him, sees this call and sees he's talking to his mom. And he's like, oh no. He's like a teenager, like getting in trouble. Yeah. Like, I wasn't going to party and I partied. And then she gets mad.
Don't.
And he's like, help me, please. Like, help me pick up. It's my mother. And then Marvel just leaves him. Thor runs to where everybody's partying, asks everybody to help him clean up, and they all basically say no until he goes, and then he flies into the air, channels Odin, yells at them saying Frigga's coming, and they're all like, oh, Frigga's coming, no. Mom's coming. So they all clean up Earth again, Project X, very like teenage party movie style. And then Frigga does show up, and when she gets there, Thor's teaching a fake class about Earth.
Yeah.
And then Captain Marvel shows up when Frigga gets
gives
there.
Gives him an iPad
saying, here's all that information you wanted.
Yeah.
Like, helps him out kind of. And then Frigga's like confused. But then Thor calls his hammer and it's covered in paint and party stuff. And then
party beads and banner. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, Mother, I can explain. And then it cuts away because she's mad. And then Thor and Jane get together and they become a thing. And Jane forces him to ask her out. Like, he's stuttering and not able to get out. And she's like, you want to have a date at this time? Okay, see you at 7. And they become a thing. But then the Watchers, like, and as you people say on Earth, they lived happily ever after. But then after he says that, a portal opens up and Ultron with all 6 Infinity Stones walked out, and he opens up his mask and it's Vision.
Yeah.
So it's Infinity Ultron walks through, which we know will be coming back in the final episode.
Yeah.
And that was it. Overall, felt like a filler episode. I don't really have too much to say or a breakdown. Wasn't a ton of Easter eggs. It was more just a bunch of references. And that's it. That's it for anybody that want to know. That's what I got to say. You got anything?
Oh, yeah. I liked this Captain Marvel more than I did the show Captain Marvel.
Same. I would have to agree. Maybe it's because it's animated and they can do more, but
I mean, this is what I almost saw, that like you saw more of Captain Marvel's power. Like, Captain Marvel should be able to go in here and kick someone's ass. Like, just that's what she should do, and she basically did that. Like, sure, Thor got a few hits in, but
because she was holding back.
Yeah. Then that's what I want to see too. Like,
yep. I would agree. This was a better Captain Marvel, but honestly, don't have much else to say about it. It was just a filler episode, enjoyable. If you're not looking for the heavy stuff, watch this episode. Yep. There, we got a few other things here before we sign off. Who's Chacko Sonny?
He's the dude running the whole Overwatch 2 project, like the main guy, like the Jeff Kaplan for when Jeff Kaplan was in charge of Overwatch, and then he left. I believe Chacko Sonny took over, or he took over to run Overwatch 2.
And he's leaving?
And he's leaving. So I
Discuss?
don't know. Well, the whole Activision thing, I'm sure he wants to get out of that. Maybe just creative differences with what they want to do for Overwatch, because essentially in the last like 1.5 years since Overwatch announced Overwatch 2, or Blizzard announced Overwatch 2, Activision, they've released one new character for Overwatch. So like they stopped working on Overwatch to work on Overwatch 2, and now Overwatch 2 hasn't been progressing. I don't know.
So
It's a great game, but it's like they're because of whether it's the lawsuits or like what's going on over in
seems like a
Activision.
smart move on his part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels bad. I don't know when we're ever going to get Overwatch 2, but won't have McCree in it.
It won't, or they will. It just won't be called McCree.
Yeah.
Another video game. We love League of Legends.
We do.
We're big fans of League of Legends. Netflix has the rights to make a League of Legends animated series.
Anime series called Arcane.
It was just announced. Hailee Steinfeld, who's playing Kate Bishop, will be playing Vi.
Yeah, it's
voicing
centered
Vi.
around Piltover. You know, in the trailer you get Jinx, which is Vi's sister, and then
Crazy
if
sister.
if there's Vi in it, you mean
Caitlyn will be
Vi
in
is
it.
the sheriff, or Vi is a police left. I don't know. Vi is part of that like mix, and then Caitlyn's the sheriff. So it's all
Which
kind of
means-
tied into.
And if it's
Piltover.
centered around Piltover, that means Zon will probably be included,
Yeah.
which means Echo, Jace.
It's start with one. I like what they're doing. They're starting with one thing, and tell that story, and then move on to a different thing, tell that story.
And there's a
eventually
lot
you're
to
gonna have
do.
this. You're gonna have this world. You're gonna have this world that you created.
I wish it was HBO or something, not Netflix, but I hope they do a good job.
Yeah.
Hailee Steinfeld's a good choice to do it, and I'm excited for that. So wanted to mention that we love League of Legends, and Hailee Steinfeld gets to play a fun character.
Yeah, she's
I hope
fun.
she
She's
does it
snarky,
justice. Yeah, it's supposed to be
snarky,
super
and
snarky.
and like I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat you. Like
Right. Yep. Overconfident.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, they recently just bought all of Roald Dahl's. They bought the Roald Dahl Story Company. For those of you that don't know, that's Matilda. That's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Glass Elevator. That's Witches. That's BFG. It's a huge collection of works, and the ones that I just mentioned are all rumored to already be considered to be put into Netflix movies. So,
I think, my unpopular opinion, I think Matilda is a level 5 mutant, the Omega level mutants, or what's it called? What am I missing? What's it
level
called?
Phoenix, level 5,
Yeah,
class 5,
Like-
whatever.
yeah. I think Matilda is a mutant.
I've always thought Matilda would be a great horror story. Boss Logic did a mock-up of what Matilda would look like in a horror movie. It looked really good, and I
Yeah.
always thought Matilda would be good. My wife thinks that movie's already amazing. I also really like the original movie, so I don't think they need to redo it, but Netflix wouldn't buy this without wanting to redo like those are like their top 5 selling Roald Dahl stories. They'll redo it. And then lastly, another Netflix story. Well, not Netflix. I don't know why it says Netflix here.
Maybe I put that.
But Nintendo and Illumination are pairing up, where they are the ones that make Minions, to make a Mario movie. And today it was announced it'll be coming out December 21st of 2022 in America. And the cast will go quick. Chris Pratt is Mario. Charlie Day is Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach. Jack Black is Bowser. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Then you have Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Kevin Michael Richardson will be Comic. And Sebastian Maniscalco will be Spike. Kevin Michael Richardson, for those of you who don't know, he's Principal Lewis in American Dad. He's the voice of the big Captain Bantu in Lilo and Stitch. Fred Armisen is from Saturday Night Live. He's the voice of the dad in Big Mouth. Keegan-Michael Key, he's Key and Peele and a million things. He's Keegan-Michael Key and Jack Black are my biggest excitements out of this.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong too.
I think that's weird. I think Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Seth Rogen are the ones I question the most. I love the fact that it's Charlie Day and Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah.
I think those are huge wins. And then Fred Armisen and Kevin Michael Richardson will be knock it out of the park. But I already saw the reaction on Twitter. They're already saying it's going to be terrible because Twitter hates Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
So I've never seen Queen's Gambit. So Anya Taylor-Joy, this will be the first thing I feel like I've really seen her in.
She's also Magic in New Mutants, which
Okay.
why would you watch that? So,
I never saw that either. But anyway, yeah. that's coming out. So did you have anything to say about the Marvel movie or the Mario movie outside of like, Twitter hates it already?
Diddy Kong?
Nope. No Funky Kong, no Diddy Kong.
Daisy? Yoshi?
Yeah. Nope.
King Boo? Koopa Troopa?
The original voice actor of Mario, who's been Mario for over 25 years, will also be in it. But he'll be playing cameos rather than voicing Mario, which I don't get that. I get it. Chris Pratt draws in the audience more, but weird choice. I like Illumination a lot as a company, so I think they're going to do it right. But my question comes from Nintendo. That's really all I have to say on that movie. I love Jack Black. I love Charlie Day. I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. I love Fred Armisen, Keegan-Michael Key. Like, I love a lot of these castings. So, and Illumination's a smart company. Minions is the largest animated franchise, most profitable animated franchise for movies. So working with the wealthiest video game company, basically. Let's let's not jump on the I hate this already because I assume knowledge about Chris Pratt that's never been proven. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's all we have for you today. That's it. Part 14 of this never-ending podcast. We thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all the above. Tap that like button softly.
Like post prompt.
Yeah, tap it. Tap that subscribe button while you're there. I don't care if you turn on notifications. I have notifications on for a couple channels. I don't think they're that helpful. So, you don't have to turn on that bell. I don't care. It's fine. But yeah, I would love if you'd like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter and tweet at us though. That'd be sick.
Talk to us. We long for
really it's just attention. I just crave attention. I long for Tom Hiddleston, but I also long for your attention. But yeah, anyway, this was episode 14. I hope you enjoyed it because I know I did. Before we sign off, just another reminder. People out there need help. People out there might not seem like they are looking for help or want it. And a lot of the time when they are struggling, they will not seek it. So be the change in their lives. And it genuinely is how you doing? How's it going? Hi. So the people that are still watching at this point in the video, people that might see this maybe on Twitter or something, hi, how are you doing? Because that's really all it takes. Feel free to talk to us. Genuine, my full-time job is taking care of a baby in this. So I got time to talk to you. Feel free to
me.
Yeah. Feel free to tweet. Feel free to comment. I get notifications if somebody comments on our video. My phone goes, boom, somebody commented on your video. And,
that's your text tone?
Boop, somebody commented. Yeah, that's it. Today, somebody commented on one of our other videos, and I responded in less than 8 minutes. So say hello. We'll talk to you. If you need somebody to reach out to, we're strangers on the internet. So why would we judge you? Your mom and dad always have said, don't talk to strangers. Come talk to us strangers, man.
Yeah, we're nice.
We'll
accept you.
We're fairly nice. As long as I've had my coffee, we're good to go. But yeah, just reach out. If you have a friend, especially even if you're not worried about them, say, how you doing? If you're looking for social interaction, maybe you don't have a friend or maybe you have a couple friends, just say hello. How you doing?
Well, if you play video games, we'll play video games with you too.
Absolutely. Other than that, love you very much. Thank you so much. You guys are all super appreciated. You have no idea.
A heart from us.
We've gained a couple viewers, subscribers. We appreciate you a lot, honestly. Making every time we gain a new subscriber or follower, it makes me want to make more content. Makes me want to do more. So, thank you so much. GG.
What?